Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Jake from TodaysiPhone.com, and here's your TIP Daily for June 7th, 2013. Okay, so to start off the day with some iPhone 5S news, a Czech Republic-based blog that I'm not even going to try to pronounce has posted some images of what it claims are leaked parts of the iPhone 5S. We have a FaceTime camera, we have the home button contact, and we have a vibration motor. Now, the blog is also claiming that the iPhone 5S will hit the Czech Republic at the same time that it hits the rest of the first phase of iPhone launch countries like the US and the UK and Japan and the rest of the places where the iPhone usually launches first. Of course, there's no way to tell if these parts are legit until the iPhone 5S is actually released and we get to compare the two. But with the fall getting ever closer and that being the time that the iPhone 5S is supposed to be released, it does make sense for us to get these smaller leaks leading up to the event. Okay, moving on, I'm sure I don't have to tell you that the next time you see me, unless you go back and watch some old videos, is after Apple has announced all of the super awesome things that it's planning to announce at WWDC this year, which is on Monday, June 10th. Although we basically already knew that Apple was going to announce iOS 7 and the next version of OS X at WWDC this year, we got confirmation today because there are pictures flooding the web of banners for both iOS 7 and OS X. Now, as you can see, the logo for iOS 7 is pretty different from iOS logos in the past. It's not designed to look like an icon on a home screen. Instead, it's just a big number 7. The font is really thin, much thinner and sleeker than we've seen in the past. The background is totally white. It has sort of like a grid behind it or some sort of design that's reminiscent of the dock on the first iPhone operating system. And the 7 itself has a bunch of different colors in it that mimic the colors we saw on an earlier WWDC sign. The OS X banner also looks pretty awesome. It's a close-up picture of like a blue-green ocean wave with just a very thin white X on the front of it. Definitely Johnny Ive inspired designs here. It's super sleek, super minimalistic, but still definitely more than enough to get us very excited for what Apple's going to announce. Now, in addition to iOS 7 and OS X, it's also thought that Apple could just debut iRadio at the WWDC keynote. Now, there have been a lot of reported hangups with iRadio in the past, but according to a new report, Sony Music, the third and final major record label, has finally signed a deal with Apple. So if everything goes smoothly, we could just see iRadio debut at WWDC with a launch sometime around the fall when iOS 7 and the iPhone 5S presumably will launch. Okay, and finally, this year, just like every year previous, we will be hosting a live blog of the event. You can check out the link to that in the description down below. Bookmark it, and there's no need to refresh. It'll refresh by itself. We'll be posting pictures. We'll be posting news as it happens. Then we'll have video. We'll have articles. Basically, we're covering the hell out of WWDC this year, so definitely stay tuned to Today's iPhone for everything that Apple announces. If you couldn't tell, I'm pretty excited, so fingers crossed that Apple delivers. Alright, well, that's all the big news for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Your question of the day today is, what are you most excited to see premiered at WWDC this year? iOS 7, OS 10, iRadio, new Macs, or something else? You can let me know in the comment section down below or on Twitter at TIP_Jake. Personally, I am so excited for iOS 7. I just think it's going to be great. Johnny Ive designing it is just going to breathe a whole new life into the iPhone and the iPad and iOS, and I'm just super pumped. As always, the links to everything I talked about in this video in the description down below, so definitely check those out. And please don't forget, for more news, views, reviews, and everything WWDC 2013, definitely stay tuned to TodaysiPhone.com.